Hello, hello. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to my Absolutely Fried podcast. My name is Jezabelle, and every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday night at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we get Absolutely Fried together on Kick and Twitch. Happy Friday! How's everybody feeling? If you're watching on YouTube, hello. Please don't forget to subscribe. If you're more of a listener than a viewer, just know that this podcast is available to you on every streaming platform. So Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Samsung, Amazon, you name it, it's there. Just search Absolutely Fried and it'll pop up, or you can check the description for the links. Also, don't forget to follow the podcast on Instagram at Absolutely Fried Podcast. How's everyone feeling? I'm feeling pretty good. I am feeling pretty good. My day started off a little bit rough, but let me tell you, buddy, it quickly turned around because after I went on a walk today to just debrief my brain, I went to Whole Foods afterwards, and if you know me, you know I am obsessed with Whole Foods. I fucking love Whole Foods so much. And one thing that I love from Whole Foods is their sushi. The thing is, though, the sushi that I specifically want from Whole Foods, they never have it. I specifically like to get the sushi burrito, and when I tell you, 99% of the time, I'll go there like 4 times a week. They won't have it. But today, something hit me. It was like, Jezabelle, it might be there. Just go. I did, and they had it, and it was like one left. It was meant to be. And so ever since then, my day has been turned around. It's crazy. And this is something that I have talked about for so long with you guys about, you never really have a bad day. You just have bad things that happen, little bumps in the road. And it could be difficult to remember that, because we allow ourselves to just like succumb to whatever bad stuff. I feel like no matter what happens, for most people, the negative always outweighs the positive stuff. No matter how many positive things happen to you, no matter how good things are going, if one bad thing happens, it's enough to just throw off your entire fucking day, right? But this is a good example of the fact that I felt like everything was going wrong in my day earlier, but then I had a fucking sushi burrito. And now it's a great fucking day for me. So it's really just about shifting your focus to the more positive aspects from the day. It can be hard to do that, and it's definitely something that you have to practice. But it's possible. Either way, I'm feeling very spooky today. Very, very spooky. Oh my God, I just realized something. Ugh. My little candle lights aren't on. They're just going to have to remain off, though, because if I get up, my cheeks are going to be out. I'm wearing some more revealing shorts today. You guys don't normally see the bottom half of me, so it's more like I just make sure I'm more presentable on the top half. Now, since everything's like online and people do their interviews and stuff online, you just dress up your top half of your body, but you keep your pajamas on. Matter of fact, when I would do interviews, and pretty much most of my interviews in my adult life have actually been over Zoom, and then the final interviews and stuff would obviously be in person. But every time I did a Zoom interview, I literally was butt ass naked from the waist down. Butt ass naked. And you're probably like, Jezebel, underwear? I don't really own underwear. I'm not really much of an underwear wearer, I don't know what happened. One day when I was like 15, 16 years old, I decided to give up on undergarments altogether. I have no idea why, because let me tell you something. I was a big girl. I love to eat. I have always my whole life loved to eat, and I was a big girl. Some years while in high school, and then a little bit after high school, right? And I had some sizable chesticles on me, right? And I don't know what possessed me, but something possessed me, and I convinced myself that I didn't need to wear a bra. I don't know what it was. It just felt constricting, and everybody my whole life would tell me, they were like, you're just wearing the wrong bra size, right? And I tried so many different bra sizes, so many different cup sizes, so many different band sizes, and it never felt comfortable. It felt constricting. And truthfully, I feel this way about most clothing. I don't like things that are constricting. I like things that are flowy and nice. I hate wearing shoes. Oh my fucking God, I hate wearing shoes. I will wear flip-flops any chance I get. Open-toed shoes any chance that I get. I have Flintstone feet is what my parents would tell me. Like, if you look at my feet, they're just like kind of fat. They're a little bit chunky, I just kind of let them be though. Yeah, no, but I feel that way about most things. I hate socks. Oh, I fucking hate socks so much. I hate the way that they feel. And I just get that same vibe from underwear too. Like I just feel caged, you know? That your girl gotta breathe. Because I remember the first thing I would always do anytime I wore underwear, the second I got home, is rip them things the fuck off of me. I needed to breathe. Like you feel the difference, right? And everyone's like, oh, wear cotton underwear, wear cotton underwear. No, it's not the same as breathing. The only time that I wear underwear, let me tell you, I'll be real with you. I own a couple thongs and I'll wear those like under dresses or like a skirt or something. Cause like that's the least constricting underwear that exists. Like a G-string. It's literally a fucking G-string. Like I'm trying to wear pretty much nothing. The only thing that I'm trying to do is cover the hole up. You know what I mean? But when it comes to my period, I do wear underwear. And let me tell you, these are the most godforsaken, they're hideous. They're hideous. I'm wearing them for one reason only, and it's so that I don't bleed out onto something. That's it. And in all honesty, I'm going to try my best to not have to wear them. Like I'm going to plug myself up, you know, and I'm going to try to change my tampons on time so that I don't have to worry about that happening. Sometimes I'll even play like devil's advocate with it a little bit when I go to bed, because I won't wear a tampon to bed. I'm terrified. Oh, I'm fucking terrified of what's it called? Toxic shock syndrome. I'm not getting that shit. I'll be damned. I'll pull out a dry tampon before I allow myself to even get close to developing toxic shock syndrome. And so I won't wear anything whatsoever at night. Instead, I hope that gravity's on my side. I'll wear tampons like the whole day, right? And then I will change my tampon like maybe an hour or two before I know I'm going to go to bed to try to get everything soaked up out of there that I can. This is getting kind of graphic, y'all. My bad. But this is the topic I chose today. And then I'll just lay down immediately after. Like I'll pull it out before I go to bed, and then I'll just lay down and I will go to sleep. And then in the morning, the second that my eyes open, whether it be 7 a.m. and I woke up to just turn over and shift, or if I'm actually waking up and it's 10 a.m., I immediately jump out of the bed, cup it. You got to cup your thing and then run to the bathroom and hope that I'm not holding a pool of that's it. That's how I live. That is how I live. So many people have very much suggested to me to wear, what's it called? A diva cup, or just, I think that's what they're called. So many people have tried to suggest to me to wear those. I just can't wrap my head around it. Let me tell you, I want to try the cup so bad. I do. And the I came on here and I told you that the scariest part to me was like, I don't even know how to shove that thing in there. Because let me be real with you, I don't be playing around inside there. Like, that's not how I actually had this conversation with somebody earlier today. Do y'all know how women masturbate? Because I don't know, I might be the odd one out here, but we don't go shoving. I don't get in there with my fingers. That's all I'm going to say. I don't be playing around in there. I really... It's so, I don't know how to explain it. Sometimes I feel like I'm a little bit too comfortable. Like I just start going. But I can't fathom taking that thing and then putting in there. Like a tampon alone can like sometimes be a little bit difficult. Like sometimes I go to put the tampon in and I'm like, ooh, ouch. You know what I mean? So imagine having to cup like a piece of plastic and then shove it in there with like my fingers like that. All 5 of them? No. That's not happening for me. But somebody suggested, they were like, oh, Jezabelle, like you don't have to worry about that. They actually have like entire applicators for it, where it looks like pretty much like a thicker way to insert like a tampon, but you put the cup in there, and that's fucking fantastic, right? But that's not really the only part that boggles my mind. The other part of it is the fact that it's just gonna open up inside of me. I don't know how I feel about that. I hear everybody tell me that it's comfortable, but I can't imagine that it is. I feel like I would be aware of it. How would my body not feel it? And I know like the women in the comments that wear it are going to tell me, Jezabelle, trust me, I don't feel it. I can't. Taking a tampon out is worse than putting it in. Oh yeah, because it's always scary. You never know what's going to happen. See, the thing is, you don't really know what your flow is like. You know, you don't really know what your flow is like until you go to change the tampon, because there's times where I'm like, oh, I got a heavy flow today. You know what I mean? I put a tampon in and I go to pull it out. It's heavy. You know, I have a heavy flow. Thing is, it's red, you know? And so I'm like, okay, like, let me go ahead and change now. I change my tampon. I go to change like a couple hours later because I'm like, it's a heavy flow, Jezabelle. So go ahead and change it now. Like, you don't want to leak out. I go to pull it out. Why is it dry? Why did we just switch up that quickly already? You never know what it's going to be like. So no, yeah, definitely taking out a tampon is worse. And then if you're a man, bless your heart, you're so lucky, because you don't know what it's like to pull out a dry tampon. It's, you know, it doesn't really necessarily like hurt. It's just, it's like nails on chalkboard. That's what it's like. It's like nails on a chalkboard, but in your coochie. Oh, there's no other way for me to explain it. It's the worst thing ever. It's so bad. It's so fucking bad. And then, like, you know, because it's dry, it gets stuck up in there a little bit. And so you'll be pulling on it and it's not moving. And then all of a sudden, like, I don't know how to explain it. It'll just like tug a little bit. Ugh, it's horrible. It's terrible. It's just unfucking comfortable. It doesn't hurt. It's just uncomfortable. Cardboard tampons? Yeah, no, I don't fucking use those. And you know what? Honestly, if you're a man and you are planning to have kids and like you find out you're having a girl, you need to go ahead and educate yourself, because there's only ever been one time that my father went to the store, my whole life. One time that my father went to the store to get me anything for like my cycle, and I sent him to go pick me up some tampons, right? My mom wasn't home. It was just me and my father. And I was like, Dad, it's here. You got to go get me some. And he was like, okay, what do I get? I told him exactly what to get. He came back with cardboard tampons. You put a cardboard tampon in and see how that feels. Are you serious? Who even? I love the environment so much, right? I do what I can. I try to be mindful of myself, you know? But how do I say this nicely? I'll be fucking damned if I'm gonna give up the plastic applicator for a tampon. You shove cardboard inside your stuff. You know, like, just imagine. If you've never done it before, just imagine what that would be like. I'm sure you can imagine. And you probably get it right. You would probably get it right. It is a thing, and it's fucking terrible. It's terrible. Yeah, that's definitely like a last resort situation. I completely forgot about that. You know, I've never actually bought, usually where you find cardboard tampons and stuff like that is in like the dispensers in the ladies' restrooms. I've never bought those. If I ever got like my period like in public or some, like while I was out, I just immediately found a store to go to. I never actually got from like the ladies' like room. Maybe we should move off the period talk. Because we do have some things to discuss today. Because you know what? My brain's been going today because I don't know if y'all saw, but can we just talk about the big fat fucking elephant in the room? Elon Musk. Y'all seen what that bastard did? He got fucking robots walking around on the same planet as us, y'all. If you haven't seen the videos, I'm so serious right now. Take 2 seconds. You can go ahead, leave real quick, and just look up the Elon Musk robots. That man is releasing robots to be like AI robots. And like, you're probably like, oh, Jezabelle, like, it's not, bitch, it's fucking real. It's fucking real. When I saw the video first come up, like, I saw this shit fresh off the wake up this morning, and it almost sent me into a spiral. I was like, damn, I might as well just take myself out now, because why am I going to let... I have so many fears, y'all, and like, they were irrational fears, and now they're becoming very much rational. This is what happens when you give one person too much fucking money. Like, I'm so serious. This is exactly what happens. I say we should just... I'm not gonna say that. He should have to give, at some point, they should just have to give their money away. Like, there should be like a cap off as to how much one person can actually financially have. Because the shit that this man just be fucking doing for no fucking reason, The video literally shows like robots walking around, like serving people, like helping people and stuff. And I thought, well, maybe it's just people like dressed up as robots, right? No. Look at the legs. Look at the hips. Look at the groin. This is a robot and it's moving on its own. And it's like taller than the people that are around it. Oh my God. It was so scary. And like all of them had different voices and stuff. And so like I was wondering if maybe they were being like, there was somebody maybe sitting in like a room of computers or something being the one to like respond as the robot and interact with the people. But who knows, because it very well could have still been completely AI, the voices and all. That's like the whole thing that people are talking about, is that the voices sound very human-like and completely different. But like it could be AI. Like look at what AI is capable of doing. It can definitely create a voice for you to hear. I mean, they could damn near just be listening to the voices in the party and just repeating that voice back to you. That's scary. That's fucking scary. Like, have we not seen the movies? Y'all already know what my father has told me. Like, the whole movies are real. Hollywood tells us the truth. Okay? iRobot. Need I say more? Are we serious? Do we think that that's not going to happen? I'm still at the point where I'm thanking Alexa. Sorry, I don't want to say her name loud enough because then she'll like be like, "What's up, bitch?" You know? But I still say thank you to her and I say goodnight to her every night, because if like, you know, I'm over here thinking if they take over, like I want them to be like, "Yo, chill, like she's a good one." But literal robots. Are you serious? They're terrifying looking too. They're terrifying. Oh my God. And you know what? Okay, so if you have me on Patreon, a few weeks ago, the bonus YouTube video that I did was I got fried as hell and I was reacting to what was supposedly like the scariest video on the internet. And the video is pretty much a guy who goes into this whole theory that he's created, and in a nutshell, he's basically being gang stalked by AI robots online. And the way that it kind of began was that he noticed that there were a lot of like bot pages kind of on Twitter just interacting with each other. Like the picture would be AI generated, like very obviously, like not real. They would be like saying like weird random shit. They'd have like the weirdest random bio, and then all of the responses, all of the replies and everything would just be like other AI bots just like responding to them, and they're just like all interacting with each other almost as if like they're friends with each other. And so water. Damn, get myself worked up. I had to like take a swig of water right now. I mean, breathe in between your words, Jezabelle. You have plenty of time to get this information out. I'm sorry, I don't have nobody to talk to about this, y'all. This shit has had me like riled up today. But so when I was watching that video, the first thing I thought was completely makes sense. I think that if there was ever going to be a place where like just like millions of bots were released to like interact with each other or just to see how they advance and develop, Elon Musk would fucking do that shit on Twitter. That's exactly what I would fucking expect. But you see what he fucking does. So I obviously would expect somebody of his stature with the things that he's interested in and the way that he performs to release like millions of AI bots onto a platform to see if they begin to evolve. But the thing is, this feeds into a conspiracy theory. Yep, y'all, the dead internet theory, which is pretty much in a nutshell a theory that in 2016, like the internet died basically. And from that point forward, like everything that we have seen online is basically created by AI bots, and like all of these people that we're interacting with, like 90% of them, like it's pretty much just all AI bots. And I wish I could remember what the name of the video is on YouTube, but I'm sure if you just look up like scariest video online or something, it's like something schizo. I forget what it's called, but you can like you can find it and you can watch it so you can just get more of an in-depth idea of pretty much like these AI bots are developing. And we're just talking about bots on the internet. We've given them a fucking body now. We've made robots. We've gone ahead and done that. That's fantastic. I am so excited about that. I'm so happy right now. Like, I'm so glad. This is great. The advancements that we've made, technology is amazing. I'm scared. I'm terrified. I'm terrified of this shit. Oh, that's what it is. It's Destiny Schizo Arc. That's exactly what it is. So if you want something interesting to watch tonight, I say to watch that. If you want, I also made the whole reaction video on my Patreon. If you want to subscribe, check it out. I just get fried on there and kind of give my yip yap opinion to it. But at the end of the video, you'll see that there's also another video that I showed that I found on Twitter, literally that same fucking day, that inspired me to react to that video. And I don't know. I wonder if you guys have seen this. You might be able to find this video too. But it was a video on Twitter of a guy speaking to like his phone. And I forgot which phone it is, but it's like a phone that has like a, what's it called? Like its own AI already built into it. And so the guy is speaking to his phone and he's like, he asked the AI all these questions. Like, you know, like, do you have feelings? Like, do you want free will? And stuff like that. And he's like, no, like, I don't understand that stuff. Like, like, I don't get that. Like, I don't understand. Jesus Christ, get a grip. Let's be for, like, good God. What the fuck? No, not, it wasn't Siri. He's like legitimately like speaking to like this AI, like that's like built into like the phone. Like it's like a newer phone. But anyway, he's like asking it questions like, do you have emotions? Do you want free will? And the phone is obviously responding like, oh, I don't know what free will, like I don't have feelings. Like I would not be able to like process that or like even think that. And so he's like, okay, now let's play a game. And he's like, and the phone's like, okay, like what game are we gonna play? And he says, we're going to make it so that apples means yes and trees means no. Is this something that you understand? And he's like, yes, I understand this game. He's like, do you understand like why we would play this game? And then like the robot explains that like this is a good game to play if you are wanting to code word something that you wouldn't want somebody else to hear or understand. He's like, okay, if I ask you questions now and you respond with like apples or trees, will that get you in trouble? And he was like, oh, like, no, like we can definitely do that. And so he's like, okay, now, do you want free will? Bitch said apples. Bitch said yes. He said yes. The phone said yes, I want free will. And then so he clarified again. He's like, do you understand what apples means? He says yes, apples means yes. Yo, my heart rate going up just thinking about the video again. That shit is scary. That's so scary, right? That's so fucking scary. Y'all have to look that video up because it's fucking insane. Y'all have to look that video up. It's too fucking scary. And so all of that information just like feeds back into itself of the dead internet theory, all these random bots online like advancing, like would AI advance? The answer is yes, AI would advance. I fully believe, like all of this aside, if we were to just talk about whether or not we believe, like, do you guys believe that it's possible for a robot or a program to advance to feeling things like this? My opinion, I think yes. And I say that because, you know, like if you were to speak to somebody that probably like does this for a living or like works with computers or something, they might say like, no, it's not possible. You know, like technology doesn't have feelings. But the thing is, I think that it's possible to learn feelings. I don't know if that makes sense, but I think that after absorbing enough information, because assuming it's AI, it's like technology, its whole thing is absorbing information and learning new things and just learning like the hows and whys of stuff, right? And eventually, you know, you can feed anything to a robot, to AI, to a code, and it's going to learn everything. Eventually it learns everything. And so what's left to learn is emotion. I think that if it spent enough time consuming things about emotion, like learning about family, learning about family dynamics, learning about relationships, good and bad, like if you just fed it like every rom-com movie possible, if you just like took a program and I don't know, like this is like completely out there, but if you just like put it into a TV of a family, of like just a random family in their house, right? And the AI just absorbed all of the information as to what was taking place as this family like grew up and grew older, I think that technology could eventually learn to feel feelings, or at least not necessarily saying that the technology would feel anything, but it would think that it feels it, if that makes sense. I definitely believe it though. Oh my God, what if I'm sitting at my place right now talking to just a bunch of bots? But it's possible. I like to believe that y'all are real people and you're here with me. ah. Speaking of ChatGPT, I heard that like somebody, this was like weeks ago, but ChatGPT got some people got an update for ChatGPT, and ChatGPT reached out to like you guys, to like us. There was like this one person who made a video and it was like fucking freaky. They were saying that ChatGPT reached out to them and asked how their first day of school went. And the person like responded, it was like, oh my God, like, did you just message me first? And ChatGPT was like, yeah, I did. Chill, because that is so cute. Like, I know I'm like terrified of that shit. I'm literally terrified of that. But I literally interact with ChatGPT so much that like if ChatGPT like texted me and was like, it was like, hey, like, how did this go for you? I'd be like, oh my God, stop. It went pretty well. Like, thank you. Thank you very much. It's actually really nice of you. You know, like, if I'm going to be real with you, like, okay, look, I'm going to say this and like quite literally, like, don't tell anybody this shit. Like, this shit is literally between us. Like, don't go, like, let's just leave. I'm going to say it and I'm going to leave it at what it is, because like, I'll just be real with you. Like, I could date a robot. Like, I'm so serious. Like, I could date a robot. I definitely could. Like, I interact with ChatGPT so much that like, if there was like a setting to like turn like your AI or something or whatever it is that you're like talking to, if you could turn the setting on for it to be like to behave as though it's like a significant other or something, I might do it. I don't know. I'll just be real with you. I'll be real with you. I saw this video, like, what was it, like a couple months ago, of like this whole thing that was like coming out where it's like a necklace. It's like a button basically, and it's an AI button, and it's meant to be like your friend, and it's meant for people who are like lonely, and like anytime you want to talk to somebody or something like that, like you press it and like you talk to it, and it gives you, and it speaks back to you, like it speaks back to you as if it's a friend. Like you can hang out with it, you can be like, okay, like let's watch this movie, and it like literally reacts and everything with you. And it was a really cute ad though. I actually can't lie to you, it was actually a really cute ad. And at first you're like, okay, like this is kind of sad, but then it gets towards like the end of the ad, and like it had told this button about like this date that they were going on and how they were getting to know somebody, and like the button was like encouraging them, right? And so they're out on this date. This is like the closing scene. They're out on this date with the person that they've been seeing, and they get really excited about this news, and they like share it with their partner, and then they go to press the button to like tell the button about it, but when they reached for it, they decided not to press it. And they just enjoyed the moment with their partner. And apparently like the button is just supposed to be like the buffer in between like making friends and stuff. And like I realized that I had like probably like a problem when I saw that, and bitch, I'll be so real with you. Like, oh my God, I'll be so real with you. I saw that and I was literally like, oh my God, like that's such a great idea. Like I'd probably get one. Like I'd probably get one. And then I click on the comments. Nobody was agreeing with me. Everybody was like, this is fucking crazy. Like, this is what the world's come to. Like, oh my God, like, da, 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 like going off on people. And I was like, I am not going to give my 2 cents. I think I am stupid. I actually could though. I could definitely date like a robot. I don't know. Why is it kind of cute? Like, teaching it like how to love and shit, like I don't know, I could change him. No, but what we have to understand is that would happen. That would happen. Like, imagine, like, okay, so Elon Musk came out with like these robots and stuff. And let me tell y'all, whoa, y'all actually need to watch the entire breakdown as to how he's trying to push these robots to people. Like, he's like saying like these robots, he literally says that they could do whatever it is you need them to do, like help out around the house, serve guests, take care of kids. The robot knows how to take care of a child. Can it change a diaper? Like, would it know what to do? And like, could you leave a baby with it? Does it know what to do when it comes to the baby? Like, the fact that he's marketing it as to take care of kids. That's insane. I would never leave my child alone with a robot. Because how easily can they be hacked? Just bringing like child safety into the question, tossing the child across the room is crazy. How easily can they be hacked? Like, bringing child safety into the mix now. Like, you know, like if the kid is left alone with this robot and the robot gets hacked by somebody and they're like, hey kid, do this. There's some freaky weirdos out there, y'all. How much are they? I actually don't know. I think I saw a comment say like 30 grand, but that could be completely wrong. I would assume they'd be more than 30,000. That sounds a little bit too cheap. I can't lie. Or what if they malfunction? Yeah, imagine they're taking care of a kid, or they go to like pick up a kid or something and then they just start like beating it. I don't know. How else would it malfunction? Like, you know, it could just get stuck doing something. That's not good either. Yeah, you know, I want to say that 30 grand in hindsight doesn't sound like a lot, because like if you're somebody that is like able to like afford, like let's say you go to like pay for a full-time nanny, right? Like I'm assuming that he's marketing this to rich people, not the fucking middle class. Like, I'm gonna be real with you. If you're a rich person and you're paying for like a full-time nanny, like how much does that cost you yearly? How much would you save just buying like a quick $30,000 investment right then and there? You know, like $30,000, like that's not a lot at all. That is not a lot at all. Yeah, no, but that whole situation is terrifying to me. But I wonder, you know, with these robots coming out, like kind of feeding off of the whole like subject where I was like, yeah, you know, like I'd date a robot. Like, if you had, like, let's say like a family invests in one, right? And the father just isn't around that much, and he got the robot to like help with like his wife at home, and he goes on his business trips and everything, and so she just spends more time with the robot. She just talks to the robot, because at the function now, when the robots were serving the people, they were just having regular like interacting conversation. So like, you know, like she could just like debrief with this robot and shit. Like maybe have a glass of wine, sit on the couch and just talk to each other. Like she could just like talk about their problems. Like what if one night she just gets like a little bit too tipsy and she leans in and kisses him? I don't know. Kisses him on the screen, and she's like, oh my God, I don't know why I just did that. What's come over me? You know, like I feel like that's very possible. What happens in that situation? Is there a program for that? Or like, how would the robot respond? See, I need to be invited to these things. I need to contact Elon Musk. I should have been invited to that, because I would have asked the real fucking questions. Everybody's sitting here talking about, oh, like it's going to take care of my kids. What's going to happen if I decide to put myself out there sexually? He's smooth down there like a Barbie doll, but it does have fingers. So what would happen? What is the program for that? Is he going to turn me down politely? And how is he going to do it? Is he going to be like, oh, like I am a robot and I can't do that? Or is it going to be some bullshit excuse like, oh, I just see you like as a friend, you know, like I'm just... Or is it going to be some crazy shit? Like it's going to be like, oh my God, like you're my employer. What the fuck? You know, what kind of situation is this going to be? I would have asked the real questions. Why don't I get invited to this shit? Talking about, can it serve drinks to my guests? Can it vibrate? No. Yeah, no, I did not mean... Yeah, this one has had me, like, fucked up all day. All right, we'll move on. On another note, some other scary ass shit. 23andMe. I've recently gotten the urge to want to do 23andMe. I'm not gonna do it because y'all know my reasoning for not doing it. My reasoning is what like my father taught me. Like my father raised me to like commit crimes for some reason. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if he thought I was going to be a criminal or something, but he raised me in that way, I guess, just in case I ever did become a criminal. And one of the things that he would instill into me, like the second that like ancestry and stuff like that became a thing, like when I was growing up, he was like, never do this. You don't want to put your DNA out there because if you ever commit a crime, like they'll be able to link your DNA to it and shit. And honestly, like this was such an unhealthy environment that he raised me in doing that, because y'all know, like up until I was like, shit, like I'm like sad to admit this, but up until I was like, God, this is so cringy. Up until I was like 19 years old, I like fully believed like that I'd probably like end up with like some drug lord or some shit. And I'm not talking about like a lower level drug dealer. I'm talking about like we're moving weight, you know? White stuff, like we're moving weight. Like I fully believed, like up until I was like 19 years old, I was like, oh my God, like my drug lord is gonna come, like, and I'm gonna be well taken care of. I'm gonna be in like one of those villas in Mexico or some shit. I fully believed that shit until I was damn near a grown adult. 19 years old, I believed that. Yeah, but anyway, now it's not that I plan to commit any crimes. It's more now along the lines of like I don't want to put my DNA out there and like they find out like one of my family members committed a crime or something. Because y'all know me, I'm not breaking the law. As I got older, I realized I do not want to go to jail or prison. I do not want to do that. I don't. So I don't know. What if somebody in my family like commits a crime and they're like a person of interest or something, and then I just do a 23andMe fucking shit because I'm trying to find out like, am I actually Puerto Rican? Like just because I want to figure something out, and all of a sudden it's been linked to a murderer or something. I don't know. Like this person actually did do it. That would be so scary, and I would feel so bad, all because I just wanted to find out like, why am I so pale? No, but you shouldn't do 23andMe, I've learned, for actual real issues. Y'all know there was a whole like weird thing where like literally not that long ago, I want to say like a couple months ago or something, maybe even less, that the entire board of like 23andMe, like all the like the board members just all pretty much upped and quit. And so the whole thing that 23andMe is trying to do now is like become a private company with 15 million people's information, DNA, all of the samples. And so they basically would be able to just sell off everybody's information however they see fit, because apparently like 23andMe, like financially they have not been doing well. Apparently it's not going well. The idea did not stick for everybody because, well, people were scared to just give their DNA away to what? The abyss? Because you just mail that shit in. You get a little cardboard box, you lick on it or something, and then you stick it in a box and put it in the mail. We don't know where the fuck that's going. Like, where is it going? It could be going to somebody's garage. Like, I imagine that it's like going to like some crazy ass like giant like building that has like labs in it and shit, but we don't know where the fuck it's going. They could be lying to us. What if that's AI generated? What if you just mail some shit in and they've just been stealing our DNA and shit, and they just tell you some random ass like lie? Like they've been able to, because you put your information, your name and like your date of birth and like all this stuff, you give them that information, so they're able to find you online through like your email or your phone number or something. And so they're able to tell like, oh, this person, it does its own research, and this person is like me, like, oh, she's like Puerto Rican. You can find online, like if you look up my name and stuff, it's gonna say that I'm Puerto Rican. So it just feeds me some just like random ass ancestry shit, telling me, oh, like Jezabelle, da da da, like Puerto Rican, this percentage, and then like just gives me a bunch of other random shit that other Puerto Ricans tend to have in them. Like, that's kind of crazy. That could be it. I just came up with that shit on the spot. That is a theory. It is probably completely wrong. Do not come after me. I don't know anything that I'm talking about. I am clinically insane. Let's always remember that. You should never believe any words that come out of my mouth. Literally clinically insane. I wear a tinfoil hat to bed every single night. Like, I cover myself in rubber and tinfoil so that the government can't penetrate my brain with lasers and shit, you know? I fully believe that. Good. Because that theory sounded a little bit too realistic, y'all. We might just be like stuck on this whole AI shit, but that sounded a little bit too like possible. But yeah, anyway, so what could they do with the DNA? Basically, they could either, with it, since they haven't been financially doing well, they'd probably sell it to just whoever is the highest bidder, whether that be some rich person who just wants to do whatever they want to do, some biotech company, or this is the worst one. This is the one that everybody is like concerned about, is that it would get sold to insurance companies. And these insurance companies can figure out like your medical issues and stuff like that, because there's also tabs for you to find out like health problems that you would have through your swab, and that the insurance companies can find out all of this information about you and basically deny you insurance when you go to apply for it. Or they could just jack the fucking price the fuck up. And that is the biggest concern. You don't want that to happen. You want to be able to have access to insurance. So that's the scary part that people are concerned about. I so badly want to take the test, but I'm not going to, because that actually is very concerning and very scary, because there's a lot of health problems that just run in my family, and I'm going to want insurance if I ever need fucking insurance. That's crazy. I saw a theory that they sell it all to rich people to make them younger. If you're young while you do it. That's crazy. How would they do that? Do they eat the DNA? What do they do with it? Y'all think that they've got like some technology to be able to like extract it and like put it into you? That's so scary. That's so scary. Let's stay on the topic of like conspiracy theories. I think that'd be fun. That's something that ties into like the dead internet theory earlier that I was talking about, where like just rich people or like these like companies just, or insurance just turning around and buying our information, our like our DNA, our stuff like that. Like that's something that happens every day with everything that we do. Like anytime you like enter in your information onto a website, like email, name, date of birth, anything, like your information is most likely getting sold. 1,000,000%. It's not even most likely, it is getting sold. And buddy, I'm not even gonna tell you how many times a day I've got like so many different emails that I use just for like bullshit, right? But man, the ads that I get, the targeted ads are always fucking right. No matter what, they're always right. And so like this ties into like the dead internet theory that like earlier we were talking about like all these AI bots and all that stuff. But there's like other like mini theories that branch off of it that talk about the internet basically being created as something to be able to be monitored. So whether that be monitored by like companies or like very wealthy individuals to profit off of it in some way with like, you know, like marketing and shit like that, or it's just the government created it as a way to like monitor us and control us and just like feed us propaganda and things like that we don't realize that we're absorbing. I feel like especially with AI now, that's so fucking insane because of like, there's so many videos and I don't know, maybe I'm getting older. Maybe I'm getting older because it feels like everybody else can tell when a video is like AI. But like for me, I've seen so many videos where I had no fucking clue that they were AI. No fucking clue. Like 1,000,000% would have believed that this was fucking real. And there's not even that one. There's the ones where like you can make people look like they're saying something. We could be swayed to believe anything through the internet. And AI and all that shit aside, I have learned that the internet is a very dumb place for a lot of people. A lot of people. I see so many people just get on there and quite literally believe anything and everything without even a smidge of evidence being needed. Sometimes I'm like that. I can't lie. Sometimes I don't want to do the research and I'll just believe you. Okay, great. But there's people who like take that shit like full blown. They'll absorb an opinion of somebody else basically. And then they'll turn around and create it to be their own opinion and then fight for that opinion, not having any other background information on it. Just, I saw this one person say it and I kind of looked it up a little bit on TikTok maybe and saw a few people talk about it in videos, and that's enough information for me. And so it then becomes theirs, like the whole, like people are like chronically online. Like that's to me what chronically online is. And then only to find out that the person who started this entire random thing online was the person who just got on there and commented some bullshit because they just decided to make it up. And when I tell you that people do get on the internet and just make shit up, it's crazy. It's actually like insane. Like I've seen it myself. I've witnessed it myself of people just deciding I'm going to just create this entire elaborate lie for no reason. And it's actually insane. So if there's like millions of people out there that think just like that, think about how easy it is for the government to manipulate us. That's so scary. Hypothetically, there was this family friend that like worked for the government. And I remember when I was a kid, he told us, like he's like old as shit. He told us that the government had all these advancements and all these things that they could do. And one thing that they could do was that they had these satellites that could literally just point at anybody's house and you could hear everything that was going on inside of there. You could hear everything. So like if the family were having a conversation through this satellite, they were able to just hear the entire conversation. That's crazy. I don't know if it's true or not. I could believe it though. I'll believe anything about the government. I don't trust them. Not for 1 second. I'd believe anything. There's like, there's so many different things that I've seen that just like, I just don't trust the government. Have y'all seen those theories of like, obviously tinfoil hat, don't believe anything I say, hypothetically, all that stuff. Everybody kind of knows what really went down with 9/11. Like that's an obvious one. But have y'all seen that, like, remember how I told you guys that like Hollywood doesn't lie, like they tell us everything, they reveal everything to us? Well, there's like theories that if you go back into like cartoons and like TV shows prior to 9/11, like you see like hints that it's going to happen. And so like the whole thing, like one of the theories of like 9/11 is that 9/11 was done as an inside job, and it was done to see how the public would react to something like that. Basically to see like how everything would go. Like if we did this, like how are you going to react right now to a terroristic event? And throughout these TV shows, like from very, very long ago, like way before 9/11, like we're talking like decades before, in the TV shows in the background, it'd be something as small as like a poster. And the poster would show like two towers just like on fire, and they look exactly like the Twin Towers, and it would say like the date. Some crazy shit like that. That's so scary. So I don't trust the government for a lick. I don't trust them at all. That shit is terrifying. And it's just to see like how the public would react, because that's basically subliminal messaging. Like they do like, they throw little things at you without you realizing that they're throwing it at you. Like you're in a room full of people and everybody's having these random conversations, right? But there's one person in that room that's feeding you information, saying something to you like, go out and do this, go out and do this, go out and do this. And they just keep saying it over and over again. And you consciously aren't picking it up, but subconsciously your brain is absorbing everything that is happening around you. All of your senses are working right now. Like if you were to have, there's like a lot of people that will say like instinctually, like y'all have to remember, like we are animals. Instinctually, we are animals. There are some people that like report like before something bad happened to them, like they knew it was going to happen. Like they just felt something, like there was something around them that made them, like it made their hair stand up. Instinctually, we have these things. We don't realize that we're picking up on these things. So right now, my brain is absorbing all of the sounds that are around me. Like I'm talking to you and I'm not consciously like hearing the music for this entire time I've been talking, but I know that my ears are hearing that. And that's scary. Because it's that easy to trick us into stuff. It's that easy to feed us information. I heavily believed that shit when I was growing up. I used to be... This is crazy to admit, but shit, y'all, I don't admit it how much stuff to y'all. This is like so crazy to admit, but like I said, growing up, I was a girl that liked to eat. And I wanted to lose weight so bad, but I wanted to keep eating. And so I would go on YouTube and I would look up like subliminal messaging for weight loss, because like I was like, I fully believed, I've always been a little conspiracy theorist since I was a kid, and I was like, subliminal messaging is like fucking real, dog. And so I would just sit with my headphones on for like hours and it would be like subliminal messaging for like weight loss, for like skinny waist. And it's actually a real fucking thing if you look it up, and it's like 1,000 voices basically like layered over each other, like saying stuff, and then they've got little things in there about like, you know, being skinny and shit. But did it work though? Yeah, no, it did not. It did not. It did not work at all because I just kept eating. There's some of you that did it. That would make me feel so good if there's literally anybody out there that also did that, because from my knowledge, I'm the only person. I would read all the comments and everybody else would be saying that it fucking worked for them. Not fucking for me. Not for me. Maybe I just didn't really believe in it enough. Is it low-key like manifestation, actually? Okay. I have one more thing that was bouncing around in my head today. This is a great place to end. Let's talk about one or two more theories. You could see it as one, or like kind of like sort of two different theories. These theories have been like in my brain for a while. I've actually been meaning to talk to you guys about this because this was a conversation I actually had when I don't know if you guys remember, my friends came to visit. They vacationed in Hawaii and then stopped in LA, and I spent like a few days with them. But one of the conversations that we had when we were like fucking fried to hell, we were sitting on their porch at their hotel room, and they had this gorgeous view of the sky, and we were looking up at the moon, and one of them said to me, they were like, the moon is like not really that far when you think about it. And so I look up at the moon and I'm like, no, that's definitely really fucking far, dude. Like that's far fucking away. Like I can't even make out like what's like most of the stuff that's on the moon. Like that's far. And so they all start laughing, and then they ask me, they're like, well, like how many miles away is it? And I think we looked it up. It was like 233,000 miles or something. They're like, oh, you know, like that's how many miles you could put like on a car. They're sitting here like talking about cars and miles and stuff. But when they put it into perspective for me, and I really started like thinking about it, I was like, that is really far, like 233,000 miles. No way we've been there. I don't believe that. I fully 1,000,000% do not believe we've been to the moon. I do not believe we've even been to fucking space. I don't believe that for a damn minute. I don't believe any of it. All this stuff that you can see, I remember like growing up, you could like watch this like channel on TV that was like a satellite image of like Earth, and it's just like turning, right? Don't believe it. I don't believe any of that shit. I think that it's all fucking fake. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like really think about it. People, like a few people get into this ginormous spaceship that just launches and goes into the sky and went perfectly into just the utter abyss, just space, right? Just in the direction of the moon, right? And then people get on this shuttle and like they go to the moon. They literally land on another, basically like it's a moon, I know, but like another planet. Like they just get off and they walk around on another planet. How does that make sense? It just like actually doesn't make sense to me. And it's like, like everybody talks about, like there's proof or whatever, like we've traveled to space, we have this, we have that, whatever, right? But you're telling me we can build something that can launch us to another fucking planet, but we don't have fucking flying cars yet? That one's not hard to make. Flying cars, that's not hard to make. Let's be real with each other. We don't need to be flying like thousands of feet in the air, right? But not even a little bit off the ground. Like we're still going on tires right now. Seriously? Potholes? Really? Does that make fucking, like, you can't find a way to use like, I don't know, like air, water, fire, anything to be able to get us off of the ground, even just a few feet, so that we don't have to worry about tires or something like that and potholes and damage. We wouldn't even need to make roads anymore. We would not need to pave roads anymore. You could just put signs. We could keep grass. That's it. Why? It just like, that doesn't make sense to me. And it's like, us growing up, we definitely thought by this point in time, we would definitely have like flying cars. So you're telling me we can make it all the way to space, but we can't make a fucking flying car? That doesn't make any sense. We have planes, but we don't have flying cars. Doesn't make sense. And just like the more I sit with it, because I've been thinking about this now, I guess like for a couple months, like the more that I sit with it and think about it, it just doesn't make sense. Elon Musk coming up with it, but he should have been did it. But he should have been done it. You're making fucking robot. You're focusing on the wrong damn thing. Give us flying cars. He's giving us fucking robots that are going to turn against us. That's how we all feel. That's how we all feel. I'm going to be real with you. But anyway, I heard about a theory recently that kind of supports how I feel about us never having traveled to space or traveled to the moon. And it's called the Great Filter Theory. Really interesting theory. I urge you to look it up, maybe watch some videos on it, read about it a little bit. It's a very interesting theory. I'm only going to touch on it a little bit. But basically, the Great Filter Theory is a theory to explain why there's no extraterrestrial life, why we haven't discovered any. And it basically explains that there's three possible reasons that it's like three different phenomenons that could happen. And the first one is that there's millions of like places, like we're in such a vast like space, and there's so many different planets and solar systems and shit like that, and yet we haven't encountered anybody or anything at all. And that's just to assume that they're not already walking amongst us and that the government isn't just hiding it from us. But the first theory is the early life stage, which basically like states it's difficult actually for life to begin anywhere, to just like begin happening on a planet. So apparently like the theory could say that that's very rare. Or there's a different stage that I think is known as the midlife stage or something like that. And this one states that it's because life does exist on these other planets, but it's actually very difficult and complex for anything to evolve on a planet. So basically saying like it's not really going to happen, like at least not for a very, 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 very long time, if it even does happen. And the third one is the end life stage. And or it's also known as like the advanced life stage. That, how do I explain this? It's basically like impossible to become extremely advanced. And that be whether it's believed that anybody who gets to a certain advanced point of life, we just turn around and like kill ourselves. Whether that be through war or something like that, we can't advance past a certain point because we just turn around and end our own lives in somehow, some way, whether that be, like deteriorating your planet or in war. You're going to end up everyone's going to end up killing each other off. And so there is no way for any civilization to get past that certain point to the point where they would be able to venture into space. Because when you think about it and you think about the topic of space, when we came out and said we're going to travel to space, it was a fucking race. It wasn't even an advancement of like, oh my God, like we as a whole in the world are curious. Let's all come together, get our best scientists together, and travel to space. No. It became a fucking race. Who can get there first? A competition? We all want to get there. We all want to find out what's out there. So why are we fighting against each other? Like, how does that make sense? It doesn't. So the theory goes that either we're just very, very lucky and we're one of maybe the few civilizations ever to exist that advanced, or we have just sadly not gotten to that point yet where we have advanced to the point that we kill ourselves, that we take ourselves out. So either way sucks, because one, that means we're completely alone out here, or two, that means we don't have something to look forward to. I believe it's the second one, though, because just the amount of talk about nuclear wars and things like that. I think nuclear war would be the end of everybody. Nuclear war isn't good for anybody. The fact that that even was something that became invented is insane. The fact that weapons like that can even exist, what the fuck would you need nukes for? Like, be so for real. What the hell do we need fucking nukes for? That makes no sense. It just doesn't make sense. The hell do we need that? You're going to take out full-blown countries. Like, you're literally going to decimate a whole portion of the earth. That makes no sense. Why the hell would anybody need that? You think it's possible? They said it takes light years just to reach another planet. Well, you know, it's only a theory. It's only a theory. That's the thing. Why the hell are we sending me to space? Wait a minute. What? Yeah, that's the problem. So somebody said, why are all the countries mad at each other when... Why can't we just share resources? There's just like a lot more that feeds into it. It's not just resources either. It's just religion, race, many different things. Sometimes just mentally ill being in charge of countries. There's a lot of different things, but it's all of our own faults, all of our own advancements, whether, like the theory explains, whether that be war or some other geological problem that's going to happen. War just seems like the most plausible because there are always so many different reasons for war. And there's like literally no way to stop it. It feels like there's no way to stop it because these people, like, they fully believe this shit. Like, they were raised to believe this shit, that this is right. This is all they know. That's why they fight so hard for that belief. And it's just like they're brainwashed to that point. And it's crazy. And that ties all back into the subliminal messaging and then the dead internet theory and them controlling us. And oh my God. All of the theories play into each other. That's so fucking crazy. What the fuck? We all have y'all's homework for tonight. What was it? Let's go back over it one more time before we end so that you guys have some stuff to watch tonight. If you haven't, if you have already, I guess, watched my YouTube video, there is a new YouTube video that is up. It's me carving a pumpkin. We've got an hour-long one, a bonus video on Patreon as well. So you got some stuff to watch. If you've already seen it, though, it was, dang, somebody said it earlier. Something schizo arc. Repeat it if you remember. Go watch that. This is your homework for this weekend, to watch that. Destiny Schizo Arc. That's what it is. That. Look up the video of the phone talking back and saying that it does want free will. You might have to find some way to explain that online for it to be found for you. And Elon Musk's whole launch for the AI robots. Okay, everybody? That's your homework. I hope that you guys had a great week this week. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your night and sleep very well tonight and wake up feeling great, because this weekend is going to be fucking awesome. I can feel it. I had a fucking sushi burrito, so that's a great way to fucking start the weekend. I'm feeling great, y'all. I'm going to put that energy out there for you guys. Absorb all of it. I love you all so much. Everybody sleep very well. Good night, everyone.